Hey guys, I want to bring you out to the desert. We just wrapped up classes in Phoenix and Las Vegas, and we filmed some of the rifle exercises that we were working on with those students out at Pro Gun Las Vegas. Proned out in the dirt, no bipods, no sandbags, just the carbine and the earth. And the exercise was to see what level of accuracy we could extract out of just the shooter, using the earth, using good elbow position, body posture, breath work, and all that good stuff. Let's dig right in. Let's head out to the range, and I want to talk to you guys about marksmanship, about shooting groups, and about extracting the best that you can out of you and whatever firearms you have. Let's go. Meet me on the range. Did you feel that?
No.
I would maybe come one click left.
Okay.
I'd come one click left, and then we'll tighten it up. That's nice. Did we make an adjustment last time?
Yes.
What'd you do?
We did one click to the right.
The last iteration.
Yeah.
I'd maybe do one more.
Okay.
Yeah? Not too shabby. So you didn't, where you at, kid? You didn't change anything with the gun.
Didn't change anything.
So you were self-assessing correctly. You're like, no, I know it's me, it's not the gun. So if we look at, come here guys, now we've got enough data points, I'm going to call it a dirty target. Like, where would you say all the pacers are? Are they high or low? Right? So even though she felt like she pushed a little right or left, everything is still trending low. So what should she do to her optic?
Go up.
Right. So how much would we want to move that? Well, I'm saying not how many clicks. How far do we want to drift that groove up? You say an inch? Do you guys agree? This is subjective too, right? Because we could get careful and we could draw a diagram and then measure from the center, but we're just, using our eye here, a little Kentucky windage. I'd say inch and a half. So I'd say maybe 2 to 3 clicks, right? Up. Do you think that's fair?
Fair.
All right. How about you, Berto? That's badass. So if I say like we get rid of that little guy, then we're talking about an 1.5 inch group. That guy in there, it's a 2.25 inch group. And it's not take that away because we don't want to see it because it makes me feel bad. It's that I now can get a better picture of if I move that whole group, considering that this round is part of the group, I don't need to move it very far. But if I ace that and I take this data set, now we need to move it where?
Down.
So which way? Does anybody say right? Should I move it right?
No.
Should I move it left? Okay, why maybe? Here's the center of the group. Here's the center of the X, right? Look at my finger. So maybe we'd come left a click or two, and maybe what? Down a click or two?
Yep.
Is this making sense?
Yes.
So are we feeling like we're getting better at this?
Oh, yeah.
Let's pace them up. You guys are making me very proud to be here. I feel like I actually know what I'm doing again. How about you? Are you poopy pants now?
No.
Feel good? You need some of that candy?
I'm good.
I've got a question. How would you define the word marksmanship? Think about it for a second before I tell you what I'm going to tell you. So my good friend and mentor, Super Dave Harrington, has a really good definition of it. You ready? It goes something like this. Marksmanship is the ability of the individual to apply the principles of marksmanship to a given firearm to achieve an acceptable shot group. There's a key word there, acceptable. Now, acceptable, like the word better or faster, is subjective. Somebody must define some standard or some metric to the word acceptable. Part of that might be something that your state or agency or military unit or shooting school or you and your buddies come up with. What is acceptable? Would I expect this gun to be able to hit something as big as a basketball 10 yards away? Sure. That would be well within the capabilities of this firearm. Would I expect this firearm loaded with 55 grain ball ammunition to be able to shoot that same basketball a mile away? No, right? So acceptable has to be based on the parameters of what the firearm in question is actually designed to do, what its intended purpose is, things like the knowledge and experience of the shooter? Would you expect a brand new shooter that's just learning to shoot the same shot group that a 20-year Army sniper would be capable of, right? So that would be subjective. You may have some different variables to that based on the skill, experience, lighting conditions, time of day, weather, et cetera, right? Lots of variables. Once we define that, it really comes down to consistency, right? Consistency with the actual tool, consistency with how we connect to said tool, how we work the controls, consistency with the ammunition that we shoot, and then above all, our ability to line up that sighting system and press the trigger without disturbing it over and over. So when we go out and we shoot groups, like we're going to talk about for a minute here in this video, our goal is to execute the best shot group that we can. Thus, we develop a baseline, right? We can write that down. Today is April 21st, 2025. Mickey took this Radian Weapons Model 1 loaded with some 77 grain Supervel out to the range. This is a hypothetical. And I shot 10 10-round shot groups. And I could go measure all of them, and I could average them, and I could write down today the best shot group that Mickey could muster with said rifle and ammo was 0.75 inches or 5.2 inches, whatever it is. Now I have a baseline. The next time I go, did I do better, worse, the same? And if it's better or worse or the same, do I know why? Are there variables inside of my control or outside of my control affecting it? An example, if I usually go to the range and I shoot 2-inch shot groups with this gun, and I go back to the range next week and all of my groups are 3 inches, and I feel good about my shooting, I can consistently shoot those 2-inch shot groups, but now they're 3. Should I take a look at my gun? Should I take a look at the ammo? Should I take a look and see if everything I'm doing is consistent? Yeah, that's exactly what I should do. Conversely, if I go back to the range and I shoot a bunch of shot groups and all of a sudden they're 1 inch, I would probably not think that all of a sudden I became a much better shooter a week later. I'm going to start to look at something like the ammo. Wow, did I get a lot of ammo that was much tighter tolerances with the velocities? Did I get a better batch than I've had in the past? Did something change with my gun? Did I recently do some barrel maintenance? Did I recently do some maintenance to the bolt carrier that it's locking up more consistently, etc.? You know, I want to understand these things because everything that we do with a firearm ultimately culminates in us putting a bullet onto a target or onto a bad guy or onto a deer or onto a clay pigeon or whatever it is we're doing, right? Nobody goes out shooting and says, I wish I missed more. Nobody goes out shooting and says, you know, I just am too accurate. I'm too accurate. I want to be less accurate. Marksmanship is the baseline, right? That is a carpenter pounding a nail. That is a baker kneading the dough. That is a mechanic turning a wrench. If I can't do this one thing, then nothing else matters. Running around, trying to shoot quickly, trying to shoot multiple targets, trying to shoot from less than desirable positions, trying to shoot in bad lighting conditions or high winds, none of it's going to get easier. Another mentor of mine, Bob Housingay, has a saying that goes like this, and Bob was a 6-time national shooting champion. He says, start and end all training with accuracy. So when you come to one of our programs, I'm trying to pass on this idea, very simple idea that was taught to me: be accurate. Be as accurate as you can be with the firearm that you own. Develop consistency in that over time that you can repeat, that you can only add to. Don't just go try to buy more gear. Extract every bit of accuracy you can out of the stuff you have. Then we can look at how to improve it. So at this recent class, my gal, Bennett, with this rifle, it was this rifle that was in that class, shot this shot group. Let's take a look. Oh, wow, this is my chicks. All right, so I'm going to blame that on my gun. This one. But she's got almost all of them in the 10 ring or the X ring with that one flyer. So that's a sub minute gun all day, every day, and that's just stock. Come here, I'm trying to, this isn't stare at your target over and over again. You guys are like staring at dirty panties on the floor. There's nothing to learn there. Or is there? This is a lesson, and this is a lesson that I'm with the right chick, right? That's part of the lesson. No, but come look at this and understand what I'm trying to get at. The gun is nothing more than a metal tube, right? That a company machine drilled a hole in, put a rifling in. All the rest of the attachments there help me line that metal tube up. It's got a really nice aim point, which is a clear dot, but there's no magnification. And we're just shooting factory Supervel. This is just a 55 grain. This isn't their high-tech shit. This is 55 grain. So, as I said, if we started swapping mags, she'd probably see this degrade in the next group, and then it might open up. It might close up too. That makes me really upset. This would be a whole cooler conversation if she was slick and covered that up before any of you people saw it. Did you feel that or see it?
Yeah, I really didn't feel any different than the rest of the shots.
That's really good. I mean, that's, you know, you're talking about an inch group at a hundo with a red dot. That's as good as most humans will be able to see. So you've got to have like a cute enough vision to do that. When you get the rifle that zeroed, this is from last week or to last month when I spent the day alone and I making little adjustment. I'd wait for the wind to stop, little adjustment. That's the refinement that we're looking for in the zero. There's nothing wrong with that versus this. This gun might just be capable of a 2.5 inch group. Can we easily make an adjustment as we just talked about with Irving now that we've got the group tight, right? And if you really look at that, and if we circled that, we could even say that we may want to come to the left a little bit, but because he's got this beautiful little cluster there, I'm going to say let's shoot another group. Yeah? Who'd this be? That's pretty sweet. Look at you dancing around the center there. Yesterday you were all like, and now you're getting closer, but that hole is still eluding you. It'll come, young man. That's nice. That's pretty friggin' cool, isn't it? A basic carbine, red dot. We weren't shooting the high quality 77 grain long range ammunition. We were shooting the high quality budget 55 grain ammo from Supervel, which means it's loaded with consistency, with quality components. All this stuff's loaded on the same presses, right? It means that the ammo was consistent, the gun was consistent, and in this case, the shooter, was consistent. We got that one flyer, right? That's not for nothing. Somebody did that. That wasn't just one fluky thing, or was it? It could be. When we look at a shot group like that, we have to analyze it and be open-minded about what was happening. Did I record mentally improper input to the trigger? Did I feel something happening with my sight picture? Did I press the shot as my breath was allowing my chassis, my body to move? Did it feel like a good shot? Can I blame it on the rain? Can I blame it on a bum round? Without getting out there and doing it, you won't have answers. You've got to get out there and do it. So in our courses, I want to pound home for you, the ability to shoot groups is what separates the men from the boys, the girls from the ladies. It's what elevates you to the next level. All the higher level stuff, running around, doing all the cool guy stuff with guns, is predicated on your ability to be a marksman. In fact, it is our duty under the Second Amendment to be good marksmen. I always love it when somebody jumps on and argues the point I'm about to make. A well-regulated militia, being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Well-regulated in the context of the day meant trained, capable, ready. It meant your powder was dry. It meant your firearm was in good working order. It meant that you and your neighbors went out and mustered from time to time in practice to protect the town, to protect the city that you lived in, to protect your community. This idea of being well regulated is directly coupled to the idea of civic virtue. I'd like you to look both of those concepts up and read about them. And to be well regulated requires a proficiency in marksmanship, your ability to execute a good shot group with your firearm. Doesn't matter if it's a bone stock Glock, a 22 pump, oldie rifle, your carbine, a $10,000 bolt gun, or all things in between. Build consistency in your shooting. Be well. Don't be dickheads. Come on out and train with us. We are going to help you develop a deeper level of proficiency and skill with your firearms that you never knew that you were capable of. Upcoming classes in California, Washington State, Tennessee, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Illinois, and a few other places in between. Come on out and see us, CarryTrainer.com. Hey, also check out Ignis Lux Coffee. Ignis Lux is Latin for firelight. It denotes that fire that burns inside of you. And please also check out my friends at Supervel Ammunition. I always say Supervel stands for super awesome. Sure does. Bye now.
Adventure doesn't wait. It demands fuel. Fresh and energizing. Crafted for the untamed. For those who chase the light, Ignis Lux is the fire that keeps you going. Ignis Lux Coffee. Fire in your cup. Light in your soul.